Okay, after a great free agency run, Craig, I think it's kind of clear. And again, we don't want to be drinking too much Kool-Aid, but at the same time, you can just
Mhm.
look at the facts or the facts. And we're does this does this prove to you basically what we're doing in free agency, setting up in the draft, what we've done in the past? Like it's time. Our window is open. Brad Holmes sees it. It's time to make a run, not just be a competitive team and oh yeah, we're not the same old Lions, but let's make a little run here at the Super Bowl. What are you seeing? What are your thoughts on us getting aggressive?
Yeah, I think it's always kind of the goal, but it's become very clear now.
Yeah.
And I think the only things that we're missing are, believe it or not, a little wide receiver depth and a backup quarterback. Good competing teams usually have a good backup quarterback.
Mhm.
Um, I'm telling you right now, I see no other thing on the wall. Like no other writing. This is it. When you look at the free agents that we brought in this year, wow, look at that. Amazing. You did that, not me. Right? Like there is not one name on there that screams rebuild. There's
That's
not
right.
one name on there that screams we'll go even deeper. And then you can be like, well, what about Graham Glasgow? Like that's just a mediocre, normal, run of the mill guard. Yeah, but then we went and restructured Vitae. So what that tells you is whether it's Vitae or Glasgow, now we have depth at the interior offensive line that
Yes.
we didn't have before. So that even was a move that was very clearly like, nope, no matter what, we're not going to be a rotating, like a revolving door at right guard like we were last year. Every move we've made says we need to compete. We want to be elite.
Yes, and the one that stands out for me is the David Montgomery move. You had a guy here, yeah,
Yeah.
Jamal Williams, the production was good, but we said, "Hey, Jamal, thank you for everything. We're going to get better." And
We're
we
going
could
to
have
see ya.
stuck we could have stuck with them and yeah, whatever. And it's like we get David Montgomery, he comes in as a guy he's better. He's younger. He's a
Yeah.
better running back. He has more 20 plus yard runs, more 40 plus yard runs, breaks tackles,
Yep.
his home run hitter. And
Yes.
we could have got stuck. And that's just a perfect example of we got better. And
Better.
I'll let you talk on the Jamal Williams thing as well, because I think fans, we got stuck because he's a different guy. So you kind of like, oh, it's kind of refreshing that he's up there talking about Pokemon or whatever. And it's like, all right, that was cool, man. I appreciate you getting us out of the dark ages or the dark times as Alliance fans with some of the humor and whatever, but it's time to go
Sure.
now.
Yeah, and I think this is one of those things with Jamal Williams where it's like you were good. And you were good and you were perfect for what we were last year,
Yep.
but we want to be better. Like
Yes.
we want to be the team. We don't want to be the team that puts a running back out there and we have to run the ball. And if we're passing the ball, he's not a threat.
That's
You want a
right.
3 down back. You don't want a first and second down back coming in there or a fourth down back. You want a guy who can do all four. You want a
Yes.
guy who can do everything. And David Montgomery was that guy. And Jamal Williams can talk about disrespect all he wants. When he says disrespect, he probably just means that he didn't get the contract offer that David Montgomery got. Well, I'm sorry, Jamal. I love you, man, to an extent. I'm kind of annoyed by you right now, but you're just not as good as him. And it was an upgrade.
Yep.
Just like Gardner Johnson is an upgrade. Hey, Kirby Joseph's a good playmaker in the back end at safety. Chauncey Gardner Johnson's better,
Mm-hmm.
right? Will Harris kind of got somewhat comfortable at nickel last year. Gardner Johnson's better. Okuda, we want him to be good. Mosley is better.
Mm-hmm.
Sutton is better. Like it was just this thing where it's like, no. We want to be better. And it's
Yep.
that simple.
Yep.
It's really that simple. And I want to give you the last word on like what else they're doing this year that's proving to you that they want to win it all. But I want to throw the teaser out there too, that after we talk about that, I'm going to talk about why the NFC is ripe for the picking and why I think Brad Holmes is going all in and actually signing more guys than he normally has proven to sign. Like he's stretching it even more.
Perfect. Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. My last
Yep.
thing you is the Sutton and Mosley. What you did there, you said it. You took a starting corner from the Steelers. You took a starting corner from the Niners. When you
Yes.
think of defense, I mean these are good defenses. And you pointed out in the video, Cameron Sutton. You think Steelers? Oh, it's so good. It's just the system of the Steelers. The Steelers weren't that great.
Oh, their defense was bad,
Yeah,
especially
and
the
he
pass
was the
defense.
bright spot. He's a good player.
Yes.
So you just took starters and you took starters from other teams and put them on our team, and all while doing good contracts. There's no 6-year deals. It's 1-year deals. It's 2-year deals, 3 deals. So it's just the whole thing is like, thank you, Brett Holmes. You're doing all the right
Yes.
things, going in the right direction. So yeah, you go with the schedule, with the
Yeah.
NFC, everything that's kind of shaping up.
It's more than the schedule, but I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you this. I don't know exactly what Okuda. I know that this year, and talk about the difference between Bob Quinn and Brad Holmes. We have Gardner Johnson, Sutton, and Mosley all under contract in the prime of their careers, and all of them will make less money than Jeff Okuda this year. I just want to make that clear. But
Love
it's
it.
fully guaranteed for Jeff, so why would we get rid of him, right? Because we're just going to have to pay it. So I don't make sense. All right, so here's my thing. We know that this is a quarterback driven league, right? We understand that. We know that quarterbacks are the reason. You got Mahomes, you got Josh Allen, and those are the guys in the AFC. They're your big hitters, Herbert, all that kind of stuff. You can talk about Tua, do whatever you want. What about the NFC? So we got Jared Goff in here. Can I start reading off the list of projected starting quarterbacks for the NFC right now?
Please do.
All right. Atlanta Falcons, Desmond Ridder. You scared? Arizona Cardinals, Kyler Murray. Little legs Kyler. Also, he tore his ACL, right? Carolina Panthers, until they draft someone, Andy Dalton. Chicago Bears, Justin Fields. Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott. Our Detroit Lions, Jared Goff. All right. Green Bay Packers. Who knows? But it's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. I think they're ready, but it's an unproven quarterback. The Rams have Stafford. Vikings have Cousins. Saints have Carr. Giants re-signed Daniel Jones for over $40 million a year. Best quarterback in the NFC right now is the Eagles with Hurts. And the 49ers have either Purdy or Lance. Seahawks, Geno Smith. Tampa Bay Bucks, Kyle Trask.
Ooh.
And the Washington Commanders made it very clear that they want their starting quarterback next year to be Sam Howell. So I'm just, okay. Do any of those quarterbacks scare you? Like, oh, I don't want to see that quarterback in the playoffs. We can't beat him other than Jalen, other than Hurts.
Right. That's it. And so you nailed it. You're looking at, all of a sudden we're kind of in the top 3 in any way that you look at it, just with quarterback play.
Even
and then
what
I love on top of that,
top 3. Yeah.
Yeah, and what I love on top of that is we have an innovative offense. It's just not just our quarterback, but the innovative offense part really encourages me, because this is offense-driven league. They want that. This is what you have to be good offensively. And so it's so encouraging to see we have a quarterback that can run our offense on top of being, I mean, he can make the throws. So yeah, even like Carr, right? For example, coming to the NFC. Ooh, okay. You kind of take a note of that, but it's like, what's their offense look like? Is it even innovative enough to cause you trouble? So all of a sudden, yeah, you're in the top 3, no matter how you look at it.
You're in the top 3. You're in the top 3 offensive lines. You're in the top 3 to 5 wide receivers. We have a good running back room. Now I can make the argument in the NFC we're a top 3 in defensive backs. Like, you have a young defensive line that's getting older. But here's the other thing, and this is what tells me it goes back to the title of this video. They prove they're making a run. We have a lot of young guys that contributed on rookie contracts last year. And we have a lot of guys that are contributing on rookie contracts going to be this year. Eventually, you're going to have to pay those dudes.
Yep.
So if you're trying to win now, you gotta bring in complementary pieces before you have to pay those guys.
Yeah.
And even Jared Goff in 2 years, if you're going to keep him after next year, not this year, but the year after, 2 more years, basically, you're going to have to pay him $45 million, $50 million.
Exactly.
And it's just like, oh my goodness. And this isn't the video for it. That's why I'm saying Will Levis is in play at pick 6. I'm just saying he's in play because I don't think we want to pay Goff as good as he is. I don't think we want to pay him $50 million a year.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. So
but
we'll see what happens. I love Goff. I think he's been great. I just don't know if he's 50 mil. Great.
Yeah, exactly. But that's it. You're making the run now because you see it, because the formula is really simple. You win your division, you have a home playoff game, and then what? So then you have to win. If you say you're not the number 1 seed, The Eagles are number 1. We win the division. We're 2, 3, something like that.
Yeah.
And then you win that first home playoff game. Maybe you get another one, but
Yep.
at least now it's like, oh, win a couple more games, you're in the Super Bowl. I mean,
Yes.
it's not that simple, but it really is, because we're not, if we win the division, we're not losing that first home playoff game that we've ever had ever. And just, oh my gosh.
It's the first home playoff game since 91,
91.
which we won. So if you think about it, statistically, since 1957, we have a 1,000 winning percent.
Yep.
Winning percentage at home in the playoffs. We've never lost at home in the playoffs in the last 50, 60 years.
Yeah. So what's up, everybody? Dog and the Lions. We don't lose at home in the playoffs.
Come at me, Cowboys. I bet you've lost at home.
Yeah, we don't lose at home in the playoffs, baby.
Green Bay, I know you have, to the 49ers often.
We're making a run here at the Super Bowl. Brad Holmes, love it. We'll be back with more. We just let us know your thoughts in the comments. Like the Super Bowl, again, it's a long way away, but at the same time, for real, we're in the mix. So let us know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.
See ya.